Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this video lecture series of Power Electronics and Instrumentation, module number 1. And today we are going to study in detail about how to turn off the thyristor. Okay, we have seen a lot of stuff related to the SCR. Okay, we have studied the construction of SCR, what are the VI characteristics of SCR. Okay, in my previous video lectures. Now today we will see something about how to turn off the SCR. Okay, that is the another important concept in this thyristor family. Okay, after studying the turn off mechanisms, we will switch to the turn on mechanisms of the SCR. Okay, so in this video lecture today we will going to study about the how the SCR can be turned off. Okay, it is not turn off, it is turned off mechanism. Okay, so here if you look at this particular graph, okay, this graph, there are two graphs here. Okay, so the first, in the first graph, you can see here, one is the anode current. Okay, and here we represent it by the forward current, which is here. Let us say this is your maximum anode current, max. I will represent it by the max because it is at its peak. Okay, we call it as a maximum anode current represented by I tau. Okay, and if you look at this graph, okay, as the time is getting increased, okay, or the current which they have applied is increased, okay, it gets dropped. Okay, so that there are three intervals you can see here, that is time t1, t2 and t3. Okay, at time, from time t1 to t3 here, okay, if you look at in this particular graph, the signal which is there is under, it is below the zero level. Okay, it is below the zero level, you can see here. Okay, it starts from this particular point and it is ending at this particular point. Okay, and it remains below the zero level till it gets an edge of or it gets a zero crossing point at the time t4. Okay, and again it will slowly rise. Okay, and in the first graph, this particular graph, okay, so in this graph there are the thing which you can see here are two important things. One is the forward current, okay, and another is the forward voltage applied. Okay, it is the forward voltage applied. So there are two graphs we can see here. Based on these two graphs, let us try to study how the SCR get turned off, or when the SCR will get turned off. Okay, so in the second graph, okay, which is at this particular point, okay, the second graph, in the second graph there is a forward voltage which is applied in the positive direction above the zero line. Okay, it is just applied, and at this point here, this forward voltage goes in the reverse direction. Okay, from this point till this point. Okay, and again slightly it will increase at a rate of dv by dt, that is nothing but the differential voltage or the change in voltage with respect to time t, that is dv by dt, differential voltage. Okay, and from that point to this point we call it as tq. Okay, we call it as a tq. So there are two graphs which are more important here to know when your SCR is getting turned off. Okay, that is more important. Okay, so before going to the main concept of SCR, or to study the basic concept of SCR here, okay, we know the symbol of SCR, okay, which is something appears to be like your diode. Okay, but with one extra terminal at this particular point. Okay, so this is your anode here and this is your cathode. Okay, so we have two terminals, anode and cathode, and this is my terminal, gate terminal. Okay, the symbol for the SCR. So one is the anode, another is the cathode. This is what the symbol we know. Okay, let us apply voltage here. Okay, at this particular point, we can see here, this is plus and this is minus. This is my SCR. Okay, because whenever I apply the voltage here from the battery, the flow of charge will be from positive towards this point. It has to come out at this particular point. Okay, like this. This is the flow of charge. But because of the gate voltage here, if I do not apply the minimum gate voltage or this specified gate voltage or the voltage which is required, so that my flow of current will be through this particular SCR. Okay, until then your SCR will not be entering into the forward conduction region. This we have studied in the previous video lectures. Okay, so therefore just to see when my SCR is getting turned off. Okay, so the signal which I apply is assumed like this, like it is applied like this. Okay, so I have two cycles here, one is positive and another is the negative. Okay, so let us assume that it is my alternating current. Okay, where if it starts from zero, it will reach at zero at this point, and again it reaches at this particular point where it will enter again into the positive region, which is varying with respect to time t. Okay, so here there is anode and this is cathode. We call it as the current which is flowing through this anode, we call it as an anode current. Here you can see in the graph, it is the anode current. Okay, and this anode current is in the forward direction. Okay, that is why we call it as it is a forward current. Okay, we call it as a forward current. So therefore, I have two notations. One is forward current and another is the anode current. Assumption made here that your SCR is in this particular circuit diagram. That is, plus is applied to anode and minus is applied to cathode. Okay, and there is a forward voltage here where it will give a rise in your graph. Okay, so once I apply the voltage across the SCR at its maximum value, once it reaches to this particular point T1, what happens at point T2, what happens at point T3, what it will happen. Okay, you can see here it is written as TRR. It is called as reverse, okay, reverse current or reverse time, the TTR we have. Okay, we have TGR, we have T off. This amount of time from this particular point here, you can see blue line, it is turned off. Your SCR is turned off. It is not on, it is off. Why it is off? Because the applied current is less than the forward current. Okay, because it is in the negative direction. It is in the negative direction. So that is why the reason it is turned off. Okay, we are not looking at this point. We are looking at this particular point T1. Here you can see here itself is your turn, although the applied current, applied voltage is greater than the forward current, still it is turned off because at time T1 you're already it has reached to its zero level, which is the minimum level or at the base level where the SCR is getting turned off. So therefore here some things are written into written in the points. Okay, let us go through these points. Okay, where it says, okay, that when an SCR is turned on by the gate signal, right, always we consider that whenever we apply the gate voltage, your SCR will turn on. Okay, but once it turned on, it cannot be, it loses its control. Okay, once it's turned on, your SCR will loses its control of operation, in the sense if this is my SCR here. Okay, so when I apply the current or the signal to this particular gate terminal, okay, your SCR loses its uh, control. Okay, this is anode and this is cathode. That is what it says. So when the SCR is turned on, okay, by the gate signal, so it means that until and unless you do not apply the gate signal, your SCR will not turn on. It is just in its on states, but do not perform any operation, do not go into the forward conduction region. It is under the forward blocking state. Okay, so once you apply the sufficient amount of the gate current, okay, then what happens is your SCR will turn on. Okay, so once your SCR is turned on, what happens to the gate? Okay, once this is on, what happens to the gate? Your gate terminal loses the control, over what? Over this SCR, over this SCR, because once the device is turned on, you don't have any control over that particular device. Okay, but what is the what we can do here is we can bring back the this SCR which is in the on state, okay, which is in the on state to blocking state. It is possible. It is possible. So what is the first condition? When your SCR is turned on, the gate loses the control over the device. Okay, if the gate loses the control over the device, if you want to have a control over the particular SCR, what we can do is we can bring our SCR from on state to blocking state. Okay, and how to bring back to the blocking state? By reducing the forward current. By reducing the forward current. That is what we have done in the graph. Okay, so what we have done, it was a sufficient amount of current at this particular point here. Okay, my SCR is turned on. If I want to turn off my device, what I will do is I will make my forward current to reach to a minimum level, say 0, because zero current in the sense there is no operation of the device. Okay, no flow of current is there in the SCR. So therefore your SCR will be entering into the forward or entering into the blocking state. Okay, how this can be done? By reducing the forward current to a level below the holding current, below the holding current. So we have studied in our previous video lectures the two important definitions of the SCR in the VI characteristic, that is, one is the holding current and another is the latching current. Okay, so holding current is nothing but it's a minimum current which is required to maintain the SCR in the forward blocking state. And what is the latching current? It is the minimum current, or it is the minimum gate current which is required to turn on the SCR or to maintain the SCR in the forward conduction region. So that is the latching current. Okay, so therefore based on these two definitions we can understand in detail how this particular graph is being drawn. Okay, and what is happening in this SCR theory or the thyristor theory, that whenever you apply, okay, the amount of current here, so what things we can do here is in AC circuits, okay, basically in AC circuit, the current through which goes through a natural zero value, the device will automatically switched off. Okay, this is the fact, or this is the fundamental of the current. Okay, whenever there is no power, there is no turning of device. Whenever there is, we say that there is no current. No current is directly proportional to what? There is no turning of my device, no turning of my fan, no turning on of my motor. Okay, so there should be at least some minimum amount of current so that my device get turned on. Okay, so if there is no current, which is when there is no current flowing through the SCR, it means that my device is not operable or it is not operated. Okay, but this is not the case in the DC circuit. Okay, this is not the case in the DC circuit. So therefore in the DC circuit, what is happening is when there is when no neutral zero value of current exists, okay, the forward current is reduced by applying the reverse voltage across the anode and cathode, therefore forcing the current through the SCR to 0, because the difference between the AC and DC is nothing but the main is the frequency component. Okay, in AC we have a frequency component, but in DC we don't have the frequency component. So therefore frequency is nothing but the number of cycles per second. Okay, number of cycles per second, and each cycle will either go to its maximum value or it will come back to the zero value. Okay, so based on the reaching it to the maximum value and the zero value, you can turn on and off of your devices. Okay, but in case of DC supply, this is not the possible. Okay, because it don't have any frequency component, it's just a straight line. So therefore, if you want to turn off your devices, if you want to turn off your SCR to make it 0, if it is using a DC circuits, then what we can do is just reduce the applied reverse voltage, applied reverse anode and cathode voltages. Okay, so that is just like apply the reverse voltage in the reverse bias. Okay, we know the concept of reverse bias. Negative is applied to anode and positive is applied to cathode. You just reverse that particular voltage, then automatically your device will get turned on. That is what it is in case of diodes. Okay, the SCR has a reverse recovery time, which is called as a TRR. Here it is shown in the graph. It is called as TRR, reverse recovery time. Okay, which is due to what? The storage of charge in the capacitor or the storage of charges in the junctions of the SCR. Okay, because at the junction we have studied the detailed concept of the PN junction, right? At the junction we have both the type of charges. We have holes and we have electrons also. Those electrons and holes place as the charge, stored charge at the junction. Okay, based on that, okay, we can go for the reverse recovery time at the junctions of the SCRs. Okay, and when there is an excess amount of the carriers, okay, carriers are nothing but the one which is in the majority of part. Okay, so because of those excess of the charge carriers, okay, it takes some time for the recombination, resulting in a gate recovery, or we call it as a reverse recovery or recombination time. It is called as TGR. What is TRR? TRR is a reverse recovery time. And what is TGR? TGR is nothing but gate recovery time. This is the two things. Another two other things we can see in the this particular graph. Okay, and we have another time which is called as the turn off time, represented by TQ. So what is TQ here? TQ is nothing but it is the sum of the duration of the reverse recovery current, okay, and also the time required for the recombination. Okay, when you add these two currents, you may find the turn off time. So turn off time will be usually it's the combination of these two currents, that is TRR and TGR. Okay, so at the end of that particular time, what happens is your depletion layer, okay, across the junction J2, okay, and the junctions are nothing but they withstand the forward voltages. Okay, they have the energy, they have the capacity that even though you are trying to apply the voltage, that is forward voltage or the forward current, okay, but still they will withstand the voltage at that particular junction, and they will not allow, okay, the flow of charge from anode to cathode. Okay, either they reach it to the maximum magnitude value, or whether they reach it to the maximum forward voltage, okay, your SCR will not turn on. Okay, and the turn off time, or sorry, the turn off time or the turn on time is nothing, it will be very small, okay, in terms of the microseconds. Okay, either it can be 50 microseconds or it can be over 100 microseconds. Okay, and for the particular inverter, okay, if it is making use of the grade of SCR, it will be usually around 10 to 20 microseconds. Okay, so only the main thing here to ensure that whatever you apply the voltage at the anode, okay, whether it is it is AC with respect to the AC circuits or with respect to the DC circuits, okay, make sure that the time what we use or the time which we take either for the recovery time or whether for the gate recombination time, okay, it should be very minimum. Okay, then only your SCR will turn off. Okay, then only your SCR will turn off. It should not take much amount of time for the turning of the thyristor. Okay, because if you take more amount of time to turn off the devices, okay, then the devices may not function or may not work properly. Why? Because the time which is required for the off, okay, it is exceeding the required quantity. So that is why the reason the SCR will not function properly. So therefore, make sure that whatever the voltages you apply, okay, at the anode terminal, okay, it should be as minimum as possible, and it should take very less amount of time at from 10 to 20 microseconds of time. Okay, so with this I conclude this topic of thyristor turn-off mechanism, which is more important. Okay, and it is completely based on the graph which I use here. Okay, so in my next class, I will be going through the turn-on mechanism of SCR. Okay, thank you.